Hi, fellow whiskey lovers. Welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Wednesdays. My name is Gerald Lim, and I'm your host. I hope each of you had a wonderful Christmas with your families and your loved ones. This episode marks the last for 2021, and I would like to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart for your support, your feedback, and your encouragement for helping me grow this channel over the past year. As opposed to a regular tasting for this episode, I wanted to take the time to talk about some of the challenges that I faced over the past year and also to share with you some ideas that we have for the new format of this channel in 2022. While 2021 was my second year doing whiskey reviews online, it was actually my first year launching a YouTube channel. And boy, was it ever a huge learning curve. That learning process went from having to learn about videography and how to shoot an actual video for production, sound quality, as well as the editing. And producing a video is a very laborious process, and especially so when, I admit I'm a perfectionist, and it sometimes takes, 10, 20, 30 takes just to get the right shot that goes to production. And of course, on the production floor, a lot of that material gets cut. And all of this would not have been possible without a lot of patience, coaching, mentoring, and support from my digital marketing team led by Paul Pagioni. So thank you so much, Paul, and your team for making me look good on camera and putting together the final package for each and every Whiskey Wednesdays episode. This COVID-19 pandemic that we're still in has been a really tough time for a number of people for a variety of reasons. I just wanted to share with you my journey and my struggles during this very tough time. Some of you may know that I don't have any family in Canada, so spending time alone in a very isolated world has been tough. And I've been blessed to an extent because my businesses by day have been doing extremely well during COVID, both my insurance business as well as my real estate business, and that has kept me busy. I also have a workaholic tendency, so I tend to default to working. And a friend of mine that recently came out from Vancouver and stayed with me reminded me to learn to take a break more often. And one of the reasons that got me to do these whiskey videos and have this channel was because I needed to find an angle, I needed to find an outlet to engage outside of my work sphere. And pre-pandemic, I was able to attend whiskey tastings as well as in-person whiskey socials with the various groups that I was in. But unfortunately, with the pandemic, everything went virtual and everything went online. Yes, in a virtual world, there is a tendency to drink more in the comfort of your own home. But for someone who lives alone and doesn't have any loved ones or family in Canada, it can be a very tough time. Holidays were an especially tough time for me to get through, and I haven't had a chance to see my family for over 2 years now. And one of the reasons I wanted to share this with you is because I'll be taking a break in the first quarter of 2022 because I'll be flying out to my home country of Singapore. That's where I was originally from. I'm now a Canadian citizen, but Singapore is where I was born and raised and where all of my family resides. There have been nieces that have been born that I have not met, and being able to reconnect with my elderly parents and my grandmother, who is in her 90s, is an important journey for me. And so I wanted to share this with all of you and my viewers because you would probably notice a gap the next couple of months where there won't be any new videos being put out. But this journey home is an important one for me. It's an essential trip for me. And I have probably put my mental health, I probably sacrificed my mental health to retain or to maintain a persona of all is well for a long time with many people, and I hope you would understand that my need to go on this trip is important, and hence why there would be a bit of a gap in YouTube videos for the next couple of months. When I return from my trip back home, I will be relaunching this channel in Q2 of 2022. So stay tuned for videos starting to appear in March and April of 2022. We'll also be reformatting this channel just slightly, as opposed to a weekly whiskey tasting video as part of our Whiskey Wednesdays. We'll be focusing on just one whiskey that will be tasted, one whiskey tasting per month. And my team and I may insert videos, corporate trailer videos in and around those whiskey tastings. So we haven't yet nailed down a schedule on when the actual tasting would be, but I will be changing my production schedule just slightly. And the reason I'm going to be doing that is because with the growth of my businesses and how busy it has been, I realized that maintaining a full-time production or weekly production schedule on YouTube is rather unsustainable for someone who is juggling two very busy businesses. One phrase that I use among my friends through the different hobbies that I've been in is that it stops being fun when it starts feeling like work. And while YouTube has been a great outlet for me to showcase my knowledge in the art of whiskey, it has also become a huge time suck in terms of the amount of time it takes to produce the videos, to edit the videos, and set everything up. So an average 5 to 7 minute or even a 10-minute video that you would see as the final cut could take upwards of 5 to 10 hours to produce and edit and loop together. So one of the big things for me is time. So time is something which I'm struggling with, and one of the things I wanted to do was to be able to focus on putting out a quality product less frequently, as opposed to feeling like a little hamster on a wheel and having to churn out a different whiskey tasting review every week. And my goal is that as we grow this channel together, and you're part of my journey of the whiskey tasting experience, as we grow this channel, and if there is more demand for more whiskey tastings, then I'm happy to adjust the formatting and to increase that frequency down the road again. Well, we've come to the end of the final episode for 2021. Thank you so much for your support, your feedback, and your encouragement. Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends and fellow whiskey lovers. We've got just under a week to go to hit my goal of 100 subscribers by the end of 2021. We're currently sitting at 91 subscribers, so just 9 more to go. And I need your help to get there. And before we let you go for 2021, keep watching for a collection of reels showcasing the different whiskeys that I've tasted for the intros as well as the endings. Thanks again to my production team for putting that reel together. Enjoy the reel, and don't forget to add your feedback and comments in this link below. Hi everyone, welcome back. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Wednesdays. Whiskey Wednesdays. My name's Daryl Lynn, and I'm your host. My name's Daryl Lynn, and I'm your host. Hi fellow whiskey lovers, welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Wednesdays. My name's Daryl Lynn, and I'm your host. We're going to be tasting, this week we're going to be continuing with, this week we're going to pick up from where we left off. This week is the last in our... This week, we're tasting the Balvenie 14-year-old Caribbean Cask from the Speyside region of Scotland. Beginning with the Aberfeldy 21-year-old single malt whiskey, we're featuring the Crown Royal Special Reserve and Fitting 15-year-old single malt Whiskey. Glenfiddich 18-year-old single malt whiskey. Glenfiddich IPA, the Glenlivet Archive 21-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. The Kavalan Oloroso Sherry Oak, the Kavalan Solist, limited edition peated whiskey. Today's episode, we're going to be tasting Macaloni Caledonian Distillery's latest release of the Invermally. Everyone, we're tasting tonight the Glenlivet from Macaloni's. This week, we're going to be continuing with a Macaloni Distillery series. The Mac Nabrak will be the whiskey we're tasting today. This week, we're going to pick up from where we left off by showcasing the Peated Dirac Brac whiskey. Until next week, sláinte. Sláinte. Sláinte, everyone. Sláinte. 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 As we bid all lang syne and a fond farewell to 2021, allow me to wish you a safe, healthy, and happy New Year in 2022. Stay tuned to my next episode sometime in March or April of 2022. Until then, sláinte.